Let me offer a perspective that could shift your physical trajectory in the years ahead, especially if you are over the age of 60. It's not an intense workout. It's not a pharmaceutical breakthrough. It's something far more subtle, far more ancient, and surprisingly far more powerful. Seeds. Yes, chia, flax, sesame, pumpkin, sunflower. These tiny nutritional units are capable of creating big changes in your body when consumed consistently and intelligently. The science is not just hopeful, it's compelling. As we age, particularly after 60, there's a very real and measurable decline in muscle mass and bone density. This process is called sarcopenia when it comes to muscle, and osteopenia or osteoporosis when it affects bone. These are not just words, they are silent warnings of a future where physical independence slips away. But we also know through multiple peer-reviewed studies that our bodies remain adaptable well into our 70s and even 80s if and only if we supply the right inputs. Seeds are biological activators. Inside every gram of flaxseed or pumpkin seed is a dense payload of micronutrients and bioactive compounds that can alter the way our cells behave. For instance, let's talk about magnesium. This mineral is foundational for over 300 biochemical reactions in the human body, including those that regulate nerve function, muscle contraction, protein synthesis, and bone mineralization. Most adults over 60 are deficient, but seeds, especially pumpkin seeds, are an excellent bioavailable source of magnesium. When you bring levels back into an optimal range, you don't just feel better, you function better. Then we have calcium, a mineral everyone knows is essential for bone strength. But here's the nuance. Calcium without cofactors like magnesium, phosphorus, and vitamin K2 doesn't move into bones efficiently. Seeds like sesame are rich in both calcium and magnesium, allowing for more efficient absorption and utilization. You're not just eating calcium, you're using it. You're restoring the skeletal integrity that time has tried to wear down. And we must not ignore protein. Seeds aren't just about minerals. They contain plant-based proteins with complete amino acid profiles, particularly when paired. Flax and chia, for example, provide both protein and anti-inflammatory omega-3s in one go. That's important because inflammation is a silent killer of strength and mobility. Chronic low-grade inflammation accelerates muscle breakdown and inhibits recovery. Seeds help reverse that. The lignans and polyphenols in flaxseed have been shown to actively reduce markers of systemic inflammation. Now let's touch on something less often talked about, hormonal support. With aging comes a drop in hormones like estrogen and testosterone, which are crucial for maintaining muscle mass and bone density. Seeds, especially flax and sesame, contain lignans that mimic estrogen in the body. This doesn't mean you're altering your hormones in a dangerous way. Rather, you're offering your system gentle, plant-based support to keep hormonal function steady, adaptive, and responsive. Even more fascinating is the role seeds play in enhancing the gut-brain muscle connection. The soluble fiber found in chia and flax not only improves digestion, but also nourishes the gut microbiome. A healthy gut improves nutrient absorption, supports immune health, and even helps regulate neurotransmitters involved in motivation and physical performance. The most remarkable part, it only takes 1-2 space spoons per day. You can sprinkle ground flaxseed into your morning oatmeal, add chia to your smoothie, or snack on roasted pumpkin seeds. No complex routines, no side effects, just consistent biological enhancement. Your body is still listening, it still wants to adapt. The input matters. Seeds aren't just food, they are information. They're signaling your body to repair, to grow, to strengthen. You just have to provide the signal, daily, consistently, and with intention. Certainly, below is a 600-word motivational speech built around 2 keynotes. The biological power of seeds to strengthen bones and muscles after 60. How easy, consistent integration of seeds into daily routines delivers measurable health benefits. This version maintains a tone and delivery style inspired by Dr. Andrew Huberman, scientific, motivating, and practical without directly naming him. There is something remarkably powerful happening beneath the surface of everyday nutrition. We often overlook the tiniest parts of our diet, assuming that big results require big actions. But in truth, it's the small, consistent choices that rewire our biology in profound ways, especially as we age. And if you're over 60, your body is at a crossroads. It can either begin to decline or it can adapt, grow, and even rebuild. Today, I want to draw your attention to something that may seem simple but holds transformative potential. Seeds, tiny, dense, biologically active. A tablespoon or two each day can activate the mechanisms that keep your bones strong, your muscles engaged, and your vitality sustained. Let's begin with the science. As we age, the natural tendency is for our muscle mass to decrease, a condition called sarcopenia. This leads to weakness, instability, and reduced mobility. At the same time, bones become porous and fragile due to mineral loss, what we call osteopenia or osteoporosis. But here's the good news. The body, even past 60, continues to respond to the right stimuli. One of those is nutrient density. Seeds such as chia, flax, sesame, and pumpkin are packed with exactly the nutrients our aging physiology craves: magnesium, calcium, omega-3s, plant-based protein, and lignans. Magnesium is one of the most important minerals in your entire biological system. It supports over 300 enzymatic reactions, many of which are responsible for muscle contraction, nerve signaling, and bone integrity. Pumpkin seeds, in particular, are an exceptional source. By correcting even a mild magnesium deficiency, you can improve energy metabolism, reduce muscle cramps, and rebuild the biochemical framework your body relies on. Now consider calcium and phosphorus, essential for the density and repair of bones. Sesame seeds offer not just calcium, but also magnesium and zinc in a perfectly absorbable ratio. The body doesn't just need calcium, it needs the right partners to ensure it ends up in the bones and not in the arteries. These seeds create the environment your bones need to remain solid and fracture resistant, even in later years. But biology doesn't just work in isolation. It depends on consistency. The second part of this message is about application, how to integrate seeds into your life daily without friction. Because the best health strategy isn't the one that sounds extreme, it's the one you can sustain. And with seeds, simplicity is your superpower. A tablespoon of ground flax seeds stirred into your morning oatmeal provides omega-3s and lignans, both of which fight inflammation and support hormone balance. A teaspoon of chia soaked in water becomes a nutrient-dense gel that can help regulate blood sugar and hydrate cells. Roasted pumpkin seeds sprinkled onto salads or eaten as a midday snack deliver protein and iron in ways your body recognizes and uses. And sesame seeds, whether blended into tahini or added to stir-fried vegetables, bring in the mineral-rich compounds your skeletal system needs daily. None of this requires extreme effort. What it requires is rhythm, daily repetition that tells your body, we're supporting you. This isn't about dieting. It's not about supplements that come and go. It's about making choices that align with your biology, feeding the systems that keep you moving, thinking, and living fully. Your body has not stopped responding. It may be older, yes, but it is not finished. With the right daily inputs, biologically active, nutrient-rich, consistent, you can move stronger, stand taller, and live better. Seeds, taken consistently, aren't just food. They are instruction sets. They are micro messages to your muscles and bones that say, keep building, keep going. You're not done yet. Certainly, here is the 600-word motivational speech expanded around 3 keynotes. The critical role of seeds in reversing muscle and bone loss after 60, the hormonal and anti-seminary benefits hidden inside common seeds, how these tiny nutritional tools are easy to use but deliver long-term transformation. Written in the tone and structure inspired by Dr. Andrew Huberman, grounded in science, focused on biology, and deeply motivating. Without naming him directly, there's a moment in life, usually somewhere after 60, when the body starts sending subtle messages. Your grip feels weaker, standing up takes longer, a minor fall causes a major injury. These aren't just signs of aging, they're signs of declining muscle and bone integrity. But here's the encouraging truth. Aging is not the same as decline. Your body doesn't stop working. It simply becomes more sensitive to input. And that means with the right input, even small ones, the body can still adapt. One of the most underestimated yet biologically potent sources of that input, seeds. Flax, chia, pumpkin, sesame. These are not just toppings or health fats, they're nutrient-dense powerhouses, packed with the building blocks your muscles and bones need to thrive even after 60. Muscle loss or sarcopenia and bone thinning or osteopenia are driven largely by nutrient deficiencies and cellular inflammation. Seeds help address both naturally and consistently. Let's begin with muscle. As we age, our ability to build and retain muscle is reduced not just by lifestyle, but by biology. Protein synthesis slows, inflammation increases. Yet, these tiny seeds offer a solution, Flax and chia, for instance, are rich in plant-based protein and omega-3 fatty acids, which not only support muscle repair, but actively reduce the chronic inflammation that blocks growth. Pumpkin seeds contribute iron and magnesium, essential for muscular contractions and oxygen delivery. Together, these nutrients help reactivate the body's capacity to maintain and even rebuild lean mass. Now, let's talk about bones. Bones are living tissue. They respond to nutrients, stress, and signals from the endocrine system. Calcium is only part of the equation. For bones to absorb and retain calcium, they need cofactors like magnesium, phosphorus, and zinc. Sesame seeds provide all three. They also contain compounds that improve bone mineral density by working synergistically with hormonal systems, especially in postmenopausal women or older men with declining testosterone. In fact, many of these seeds naturally contain lignans, which are phytoestrogens that support hormonal balance without synthetic interventions. And that leads into something truly important: hormonal health. After 60, the natural decline of hormones like estrogen and testosterone has a major impact on muscle tone, fat storage, and bone density. These hormones do far more than regulate sex drive. They control regeneration, recovery, and structural integrity. Certain seeds can assist here in a way that's both gentle and effective. Flaxseed, for example, has lignans that help balance estrogen levels in both men and women. Sesame seeds may support testosterone conversion by providing zinc. Rather than overpowering the body with medication, these compounds nudge it back toward balance. But none of this matters if it isn't sustainable. That's where the real brilliance of seeds comes in. They're easy to integrate into daily life. There's no learning curve, no expensive routines. Ground flax seeds stirred into oatmeal. A handful of roasted pumpkin seeds as a snack. Chia seeds soaked overnight in water or almond milk. Tahini drizzled over vegetables. You don't have to overhaul your lifestyle. You only have to repeat a few smart, small actions every day. This repetition matters more than intensity. Biological systems don't respond best to extreme efforts. They respond to consistency. Daily signals that say, here's what we're prioritizing now. And when the signals are rich in protein, healthy fats, minerals, and anti-inhibitor compounds, your muscles listen, your bones respond, your energy returns. Even after 60, your body is not done adapting. In fact, it may be more ready than ever to respond if you give it the right tools. Seeds are small, but their message is loud. Rebuild, restore, renew. Your strongest years don't have to be behind you. With the right daily inputs, they may still be ahead. Certainly. Below is a 600-word motivational speech expanded around 4 keynotes. Seeds support aging muscles and bones by replenishing lost nutrients. They help regulate hormones that drive strength, balance, and energy. Seeds combat inflammation and oxidative stress at the cellular level. Daily use is simple, accessible, and leads to long-term transformation. Delivered in the style of Dr. Andrew Huberman: calm, neuroscience-informed, motivational, and practical, without referencing him directly. After 60, the body begins to change in very specific, predictable ways. Muscle mass starts to shrink, bones lose their density, and movements that once felt automatic begin to take more effort. For many, this shift seems inevitable, just part of getting older. But the truth is, aging is not the problem. Inactivity, nutrient depletion, and cellular neglect are the problem. The body is still adaptable. It still responds to input, and some of the most powerful input you can give it comes from the smallest, most overlooked foods on the planet: seeds. Flax, chia, pumpkin, sesame, sunflower. These are not just garnish. They are nutrient delivery systems. After 60, your muscles need more support to grow and recover. They need protein, magnesium, iron, and omega-3s, all of which seeds naturally contain. Muscle doesn't disappear with age because the body gives up. It disappears because the building blocks stop arriving. A single tablespoon of pumpkin seeds gives you the magnesium your muscles depend on for contractions, recovery, and energy metabolism. Chia and flax provide plant-based protein and omega-3s that not only fuel tissue repair, but also reduce the inflammation that accelerates muscle breakdown. But there's more. Our bones also become more porous with time. You've heard of calcium, but the real story includes magnesium, phosphorus, and zinc, cofactors that help calcium get absorbed into the bones instead of floating through the bloodstream. Sesame seeds are especially rich in these compounds. When consumed regularly, they help restore mineral density and reduce the risk of fractures or spinal shrinkage. And all this happens silently, gradually, beneath the surface, just from adding a few spoonfuls of seeds to your diet every day. Now let's take it one level deeper: hormones. After 60, hormone levels start to shift. Testosterone, estrogen, and growth hormone all decline. And this hormonal drop influences how we feel, how we move, how we sleep, and even how we think. Seeds offer subtle but measurable support. Flax and sesame seeds contain lignans, natural plant compounds that mimic estrogen in the body. These help regulate hormonal fluctuations, especially in postmenopausal women, but they also support balance in older men. Pumpkin seeds, on the other hand, are rich in zinc, which is a mineral directly involved in testosterone production and immune function. This isn't hormone therapy, this is nutritional guidance, providing the body with the tools it needs to regulate itself naturally. Then there's inflammation, an invisible enemy to muscle, bone, and joint health. Chronic low-grade inflammation damages tissue from the inside out. It slows recovery, causes pain, and prevents regeneration. But seeds fight back. Chia and flax seeds are high in alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a type of omega-3 that neutralizes inflammatory cytokines. They also provide antioxidants and polyphenols that protect your cells from oxidative stress, the very thing that accelerates aging. When inflammation goes down, healing speeds up, energy returns, pain decreases, balance improves. And that's the path to resilience. What makes all this so remarkable is how easy it is to implement. You don't need complicated routines or expensive products. You need consistency. A spoon of ground flax in your smoothie, a handful of pumpkin seeds as a snack, chia pudding at night, sesame paste in your stir fry. Simple choices, done daily, create compounding benefits, not just for your body, but for your confidence, independence, and longevity. The body doesn't stop responding at 60, it just starts demanding better input. Seeds may be small, but the message they send to your biology is massive. Keep building, keep adapting, keep thriving. You are not declining, you are evolving. Give your body what it needs, and it will show you what it's still capable of. Of course, below is a 600-word motivational speech expanded around 5 keynotes. Seeds replenish essential nutrients for aging muscles and bones. They support hormonal balance, crucial for strength and vitality. Seeds actively fight inflammation and oxidative stress in aging cells. They improve gut health, enhancing nutrient absorption and energy. Seeds are easy to integrate daily and lead to long-term transformation. Crafted in the neuroscience-inspired, structured, motivating style of Dr. Andrew Huberman, without naming him directly. As we move beyond the age of 60, our biology begins to shift. The systems that once functioned with little thought now require support. Muscles become less responsive, bones grow thinner, recovery slows, and energy dips. But what's important to understand is this: the body hasn't stopped working. It hasn't quit on you. It's simply asking for different inputs. More precise, more intentional, and some of the most powerful inputs don't come from synthetic pills or major interventions. They come from something humble and often overlooked: seeds. These small, unassuming foods are nutrient-dense powerhouses. Chia, flax, pumpkin, sesame, sunflower. Each one delivers a compact package of minerals, healthy fats, proteins, and fibers. After 60, muscle mass naturally declines, a process known as sarcopenia. Bones lose minerals, becoming fragile. Seeds address both. Pumpkin seeds provide magnesium and iron, vital for muscle contraction and oxygen delivery. Flax and chia supply omega-3s and protein, fueling muscle repair and stability. Sesame seeds are rich in calcium, zinc, and phosphorus, key elements that reinforce bone structure and density. These nutrients aren't just helpful, they're necessary. But beyond the physical structure, there's the hormonal landscape. After 60, levels of testosterone, estrogen, and growth hormone all decline. These aren't just reproductive hormones, they're vital messengers that maintain lean muscle, strong bones, fat metabolism, mood, and sleep quality. Seeds offer natural support here. Flax and sesame seeds are rich in lignans, plant-based compounds that help balance estrogen in women and support hormonal equilibrium in men. Zinc in pumpkin seeds plays a direct role in testosterone production. Instead of replacing hormones, seeds provide the raw materials and subtle triggers your body uses to balance itself from within. Another silent enemy in aging is inflammation. Chronic inflammation doesn't always present as obvious pain. It can slowly degrade your joints, weaken your muscles, and increase your risk of disease. Seeds actively counter this. Chia and flax seeds contain alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 that reduces inflammatory markers in the blood. Polyphenols and antioxidants found in seeds neutralize free radicals and oxidative stress, the very elements that speed up aging on a cellular level. When inflammation is reduced, your body regains space to repair, rebuild, and energize. But there's a layer deeper still, the gut. Your gut isn't just responsible for digestion, it's central to immune function, neurotransmitter production, hormone conversion, and nutrient absorption. After 60, gut health often suffers from decades of stress, medications, and dietary deficiencies. Seeds bring it back to life. Soluble and insoluble fiber in chia and flax seeds feed beneficial bacteria, regulate bowel movements, and enhance the absorption of critical minerals like calcium and magnesium. A better gut leads to better strength, mood, sleep, and clarity. The best part is how easy this is. You don't need a dramatic lifestyle overhaul to benefit. You only need consistency. A tablespoon of ground flax in your yogurt, a spoonful of chia soaked overnight in almond milk, roasted pumpkin seeds in your salad, a drizzle of tahini on steamed vegetables. These small acts done daily create a rhythm, and biology thrives on rhythm. That daily repetition sends a signal. This body is still active, still building, still evolving. Even at 60 or 70, the body remains highly trainable. It still wants to heal, it still wants to grow. Seeds may be small, but the information they deliver is powerful. They speak to your cells in the language of nourishment, balance, and renewal. You don't need to reverse the clock, you just need to support the system. And when you do, you may find that your best strength, physical, mental, and emotional, wasn't left behind. It's still within you, waiting to be reawakened.